The UN Rights Monitor for Cambodia on Thursday called on Prime Minister Hun Sen and opposition leader Sam Rainsy to immediately put an end to their political stalemate in August, saying that it is only forward for the country. While condemning a bloody crackdown at the street protests, the UN envoy Surya Sabiti said he was concerned about the impact the political stalemate between the ruling Cambodian People's Party, CPP, and the opposition National Rescue Party of Cambodia, CNRP, has had on human rights in the country. The only road ahead for the country is a political settlement. I see no other way forward, he told reporters at a news conference at the end of a 6-day fact-finding mission to Cambodia. Having listened to both sides, I believe that it is imperative for the leaders to overcome the trust and immediately return to the negotiating table without further delay, said Sabiti, the Special Rapporteur of the United Nations for Human Rights in Cambodia. CNRP has boycotted Parliament to protest against national poll in July in which the CPP was declared the official winner, led a series of rallies drawing tens of thousands of people calling for Hun Sen to step down. The condemned crackdown Sabiti's visit to Cambodia, the first time since the election, after security forces shot and killed at least 4 people in a crackdown on 3 days of CNRP support strike of workers demanding a higher minimum wage. Sabiti said the violent crackdown and suppression of the protests had cast doubt on any hopes for democracy in Cambodia. Until the end of 2013, a review of progress on human rights in Cambodia had been positive, but in government responses to the protests include the threatened crackdown. This assessment, he said. The administration's actions in putting down the opposition protests and demonstrations featured workers during the week of November 3. A radical change is worrisome from a tolerance to a repressive government's reaction to people protesting, he said. Calls on the government to release 23 arrested in massive clampdown immediately and lift the ban on demonstrations in the capital. He called for a thorough, credible, and independent on the use of force against protesters. I understand that allegations protesters and security forces are not being investigated, he said. I suggest that an inquiry was made on the issue and those who carried out orders to shoot. If no such order was given, the individual who fired their weapons must be brought to justice. He also urged the government of Hun Sen to garment work with employees and representatives in order to improve the country's mechanism for determining the minimum wage to reflect changes in the cost of living. Change is coming. Sabiti will make an official report to the UN in its September review of progress on human rights in Cambodia. Sabiti said he will consider Cambodia too important at a crossroads and had the opportunity to advance his views on human rights if it implements many of the reforms made in his report to the United Nations. Changes are coming to Cambodia faster than many people have anticipated. The challenge for political leaders in both major political parties that embrace change and find a way to manage it for the benefit of the country, he said. During his trip, Sabiti met with Hun Sen and government ministers as well as leaders of the CNRP, representatives from civil society groups, and relatives of the 23 arrested amid the crackdown. Families mourn the death when Sabiti left Cambodia. Some 500 people gathered for a Buddhist ceremony in Phnom Penh for 4 people killed in the crackdown, calling on the authorities to bring those responsible to justice. Sam, the mother of one of the victims, told RFA she hopes the international community can help bring justice in Cambodia for her son. Please help me to seek justice. Hun Sen has done is very unfair, she said. He killed poor Cambodians. The Ministry of Interior spokesman Q Safik said the ministry and national police were investigating the case. The government has defended the crackdown on protests in the action against the protesters incite violence.